Ukrainian defenders in the Kherson region destroyed a warehouse with ammunition of the Russian army. According to the information of the OC South, as of 12 o'clock on November 7th, Ukrainian missile and artillery units completed 90 fire missions against the enemy's positions, logistical facilities, location and equipment. A warehouse with ammunition was destroyed in the Skatovsky district of the Kherson region. Other losses and damages are still being investigated, the message reads. Also, the armed forces of Ukraine destroyed 2 Russian tanks and 3 infantry fighting vehicles. As reported by Ukrinform, the Stratcom of the ZSU reported this in Telegram. 2 Russian T-72B tanks and 3 BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicles were damaged by artillery, ATACMS, and explosives, the message reads. This result was demonstrated by servicemen of the 72nd Mechanized Brigade near Pavlivka, Donetsk region. A Russian soldier who told independent news outlet Verstka that he survived shelling by Ukrainian forces near Makiivka in the Luhansk region, said his unit's commanders fled from the front line on November 6th, while his entire battalion was ordered to dig trenches and hold defensive positions. The soldier, identified in the report as Alexei Agafonov, said the Ukrainian shelling may have killed up to 500 Russian mobilized personnel in a single day. We were thrown into landings. They told us to dig in. We had 3 shovels per battalion. We dug in as best we could, and in the morning shelling began artillery, grads, mortars, copters. We were simply shot, he said. When it all started, the officers immediately ran away, Agafonov claimed. In between shelling, we tried to dig in, but the copters immediately spotted us and simply shot us. Agafonov said Russian men drafted as part of Putin's September 21st mobilization decree do not want to fight, and that mobilized people from all over the country are brought to the front lines to close the gaps in the defense. On TV they show that everything is beautiful, but in fact, here in the Luhansk region, it is the mobilized who are thrown to the front, and when we departed from there, without seeing the officers, we were already walking back. We saw that only contract soldiers and volunteers were sitting on the third line, and mobilized troops on the front end, said Agafonov. According to Agafonov, there is complete confusion and discord within Russia's military. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed Friday that there was still a steady stream of volunteers wanting to join the Russian military, with 318,000 people already mobilized. Authorities previously said the goal was to mobilize some 300,000 reservists. Putin said 49,000 were already in the army on combat missions, while the rest were still being trained. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said Tuesday that 87,000 were deployed to Ukraine. The discrepancy could not be reconciled. Putin also signed a law Friday permitting the military mobilization of those with expunged or outstanding convictions, including those who have recently served time for murder, robbery, and drug trafficking. But according to Russian pundit Dmitry Puchkov, inexperienced new recruits must be sent to the front, as older Russian soldiers are now too damaged by constant drinking to properly fight the enemy. Last month, the UK Ministry of Defence claimed the Russian army is lacking officials to lead new recruits on the battlefield. In a statement, the MOD said, 8 months into the invasion, major elements of Russia's military leadership are increasingly dysfunctional. At the tactical level, there is almost certainly a worsening shortage of capable Russian junior officers to organize and lead newly mobilized reservists. Eyewitness testimony suggests that the shooting of 11 Russian soldiers near Belgorod by a fellow recruit on the 15th of October 2022 occurred after an officer's abusive comments towards ethnic minority recruits. Poor lower-level leadership is likely worsening the low morale and poor unit cohesion in many parts of the Russian force. Meanwhile, in a conversation with the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, President Volodymyr Zelensky discussed macro-financial assistance to Ukraine for 2023, as well as countering Iran, which supports Russian aggression against our country. President of the European Commission von der Leyen informed that this week she will offer a significant financial package from the EU in the amount of up to 1.5 billion euros every month, which will be equal to 18 billion euros in total, which will make a meaningful contribution to cover the financial needs of Ukraine in 2023. Kremlin propaganda this week, through foreign speakers and media, tried to push the narrative of arms smuggling provided to Ukraine by Allied Nations Center for Countering Disinformation at the National Security and Defense Council.
Держися, Влад!